Hi everyone, it's Daisy, and here's my second video on the angel series. I've made an angel standing with playing a flute, and so when you work on this one, you'll notice that the flute also has a backdrop of gold behind it. And so this video will cover how you can help the flute to stand out and create distinction between front and back of the angel and all that it's doing. So, and also there are other things to be noticed as to what does or doesn't work and how you can paint on gold leaf. Stay tuned and let's finish this. Go up for your angel. So I want you to target making her face right here so that there's enough room for the body down below. Ready? Let's start. Get your pencils out. And I want you to start by making yourself the U for the angel's face. Now I'm going to get in there and I'm going to magnify a little bit. So this is just the basic face of my angel. That's it. Penelope, are you drawing this? Do you have paper? Okay, keep up with me. Next step, you're going to create a dot on the top right here, and you're going to give your angel two curved lines.
I'm going to do it tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. But you might want to just call the Bel Air studio and ask Kavash when he's going to be there so you can get that material from him, okay? I'll send you the invite tomorrow. Not to worry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next step, guys. Keep moving. You want to position the flute on her mouth. So I want you to touch where her mouth would be, and I need you to make a horizontal line like this. Just one line, not two. I want you to create a flute line. Next step, make her neck. So give yourself two curved lines under the place that we created as her face and make her two curved lines, please. Next, you're going to create her shoulder. So look at what's going to happen. She's going to have her hand here. Come to the line that you draw and make a straight line over the flute line. And then I want you to create like a square under it, like so. This is your angel's hand holding the flute from one side. Next, now, how do you connect the two? Onto her left side, you're going to create a curved line. That will be the bump for her shoulder right there. Forget about the right side, just the left. That's what we're interested in. Now you're going to take the inside of her wrist here, and watch me first, draw a curved line that goes from here to her shoulder, like so. And so this is how you're going to have her, and I don't want to draw the whole line, but because it will help you to understand, you will extend the back of her shoulder a little bit right there and just leave it. Because first we have to complete her body before we can understand how to complete her arms. Now I want you to remember the line that you made for the flute. Can you please extend that a little bit more? You're going to draw now the other hand, and how is that holding the flute? So the other hand comes over. So if you're holding a flute, you're like this. This hand is the one that we first drew, but the other hand is holding it from this side. Hence, what you're going to do is you're going to make another line over, and you're going to make a shorter letter U here. So that will be how she's holding on to her flute. Gonna expand this just a bit more so it's easy for you all to see. And I'm going to get rid of the line for the flute inside of the hand, here and here. Right there. Next step, you are going to finish making the other side of the flute next. So it is a skinny rectangle. That's the easiest way to understand it. So you're going to bring the flute back to her mouth and you're going to close it. So that is your line for the flute. Make sure it doesn't look too thick because the flute is generally very, very slim and sleek. So you want to keep it nice and clean. So what is your next step? Your next step is going to be to connect her right hand to her right shoulder. How do you do it? Watch me first, do not draw. Make a gentle bump. The one on her left was more, but this one needs to be more gentle. And then what you're going to do is go to where the hand is, come under it, and I want you to pull a line across like this. Just make a line across. So you're going to cross over the first line, and that is okay till we don't complete the arm. You need to know where you're drawing the stuff, otherwise it becomes really hard. I see a lot of students are drawing, so I'm going to wait it out a bit. Don't see Evelyn. She did not come in and I sent it to her. Ariba's good. Swara, Dante, Maddie's there, Nathan. How Dong is not here. That's another one missing. Okay. Now let's finish off her dress. So she wears a long gown. This is the bottom of my board. Look up for a minute. If these are your shoulders, what you want to think about is from her shoulders, she would have a really beautiful gown that would come out 1, and it would come out 2. So you have her beautiful gown. This is just her gown. But you're going to finish the sleeves on top of it, but it's hard when you don't know where the gown is. So you got to draw that first. Second step. Now, this is what you're going to do. Go back to your left shoulder right here, guys. And you're going to follow the line outside her dress, like so, till about this far. So so if this is her full body, you want to go a little bit more than halfway down, right over there. And once you do that, you can erase away her dress line up until that point because you will not be needing it. There you go. So I got rid of that. Remember, we are painting on top. We'll be fine. Now go to the opposite side of her left hand, not the one in front, this one. I want you to get to the other side. Watch me first. I'm going to take my line down towards that gown. Do you see how I did it? And I want you to turn it to come and rest on her body. So this is the line of her dress. You bring the line all the way down to touch the line on the outside, and then you wrap it around her. And then you can get rid of this line as well because you don't need it no more. You can get rid of this also. You do not need the line coming inside of her sleeve either. So this now is a proper arm for your angel. She's holding the flute. It's perfectly in position. That's your second hand, which we are going to finish now. Okay, I see completion with a lot of the kids. Maddie, let me know when you're done. Good job. Okay, now watch. Do you see how this gown curls behind her? It is important to keep that. Watch me, please. Just a minute. Do not draw. So I can imagine it going behind her like this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to use that line and I'm going to extend her other sleeve like that. So I don't need to draw this line, but I wanted to make it for you guys to show you how it all connects. And I don't want you to feel like it's kind of disconnected. It should not be. It should be all connected. Now to complete the hand over here. So I'm going to expand a bit more because it's a tinier place and I don't want you to feel lost on it. So here you go. If this is her hand, the bottom of her hand comes down like another letter U and the sleeve can just wrap around it like so. So it's right there. So these are the fingers. The curve you made on her flute is the angel's fingers. And under it is the palm. So if I was to hold something, you would see my palm here. And so that is my palm. And under it, I'm going to finish off the opening of her sleeve. So that's how I'm connecting the whole thing together. It's time for us to go and take care of our angel's hair. So you can have hair in a lot of different ways. Look, all of my kids in this class are not exactly amateurs. You guys know what you like. You can design her hair in different styles. So the easiest one is going to be something like this, where you just make a curved line over and you just wrap it in. But you can also change it up and you can give her a bun. How about that? You know how ballerinas have a bun? You can do a bun. You can do curly hair. And or you could do a shorter hair than that. So think about it. And I'm going to draw something. But you don't have to copy me. You can style her yourself. So here we go. I'm going to make her parting. And I'm going to create a curved line over her head to get the parting in position. And I, for one, am going for a bun. Right there. And when I use my paints, I plan to give her some curly twists next to her face. So that's what I'm going to do. And I can give her some ears right here. Because I've tied up her hair, I got to show her ears now. Now it's time for your angel's wings. So let's get to it. I want to bring the whole board in focus so that you know what I'm doing. So let's go to it. Go to her shoulders right there. And from her shoulders, you're going to elevate up this high. And I want you to make both her left and right together. So you're going to go up, up, and up. Have a look at the two lines. Put your board away from you and check that you have the same angle on both sides. That's important. Next step, we're going to turn this like so. And you're going to turn it like so. Her wings are open. The music does that for her. So whenever she plays on the flute, she's just in a happy place and her wings just expand. Now, how do you make the wings? This is how. You're going to attach a small curve here and you're going to do something similar. You can measure it with your fingers and say this is how far. So I'm going to attach small. Remember, When the birds open their wings, this part has got all the baby feathers. They're really, really small. So that's what I drew right now. Next, you're going to make 2 more layers of feathers. So the best way to make it, if you watch for a minute, is you can make lines just like this. This should help, and try to keep the lines equal size. So you do that, and then you do the same thing on this side. So you have this. Once you make all of this, you give yourself an arrowhead at the end of it. And I'm sure all of you know how to draw bird feathers. I don't think this part is the hard part at all for any of you. So that's one layer, and I'm going to finish off on the other side as well. So you have this, and then one more layer. So for that, you're again going to spread your lines. And these are your longest feathers. So if you ever looked at a photograph of a bird that just opens up all her wings, you will notice that the feathers on the ends are the biggest ones. And I want you to again close it up with the letter V. And these feathers, the one on the second tier, they can be spread out more than the ones on the second one. So we have 1, 2, and 3 layers of feathers. And the ones that are on the outer edges, they are your biggest, and they can spread out a lot more. Bring it around. So you want to match it up. See, notice that in my case, I feel like when I turn it around, I should reduce this one. So this size is not matching up totally. Let me fix it. So remember to check that it looks like it belongs to the same angel and not a different one. Then from here, I'm going to put my finger and slide across. This is where I want my arrowheads to start. So you got to do this little balancing act for your drawing, because it will make all the difference in how you see the final product. And this, my friends, is our angel drawing done. I need you to draw a few more lines, and that will decide where we are putting the gold in the wings. So this is what you're going to do next. Tell Mr. Sachin his food is still sitting here. If he hasn't eaten anything, I think. Okay. Now, what you're going to do, because how many of you have ever tried doing gold leaf before by yourself? Have you done it? Hands up if you have. No. So I'm not going to do it very complicated because I want you to get success in the first time, but we got to put the adhesive down. Now, so let's look at this. These are the places I want to put the gold. Are you ready, guys? Maddie, you ready?
No, not quite yet.
All right, then guys, now watch. The places that we're going to put the glue is going to be these 2 parts on the wing. These 2. You're going to put it on the flute. Got it? And oh, I forgot. We need to give our angel a halo. So we can have a halo right over here. Can you draw yourself like a curved line? So we are going to put it on the front of the halo, not the back.
So Daisy, the bottom line is you gave me 3 months approved, huh? December, January, February.
Halo, wing, this, and one more place, guys. Look at me. So do you see her sleeve right here? I want you to go to the inside here, watch me, and I want you to create one more line that starts to shrink and joins here. So this part will be gold also, and we're going to put it also over here. Right there, 2 places. We're going to apply gold here and here on the flute, on the halo, on the angel wings. So those are our places to apply it. Everybody got that? Dante, do you see it? Now, look at me. You should have something called an adhesive in your packet. Take that out, please. When you use it, it's going to look like a milky liquid. That's the one, Ariba. And it's milky for a reason. When you put this on, it takes a little time for it to really get to the point where you can put the glue on. So this is what you're going to do with it. You're going to take a brush, first one, and you're going to apply it into the wing. Go ahead and do this now, please. It is important for you to be very careful on the corners because wherever... Yes?
I don't think I have it.
Who said that? Nathan?
Me.
What happened, Nathan? I thought you told me that you have. If you have the gold leaves...
Dante.
Huh?
Dante, I need milk.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Did your mom get a chance to go collect some from the studio? She told me that she was running out.
No.
Okay, I see that you have a Elmer's glue. I hear Daddy there. Is Daddy sitting next to Dante?
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you try this? By itself, Elmer's, I think, will be really, really thick. See if you can add a touch of water to it and liquefy it. And then see if he can be given that same stuff to brush on. But I'm wondering if we should wait. I think in the case of Dante, we'll have to apply it and seal the foil at the same exact time. So I don't think there will be a chance for him to let it dry like we are. He may not need it. That's what I'm thinking. And if that be the case, so just get the glue ready if you would please. And what we'll do is we'll let Dante apply it closer to the time when he needs to actually stick his gold on.
So we're supposed to be adding that stuff that I'm supposed to be making?
Yeah, so I just told your dad to add just a touch of water to it so the glue is not too thick and the foil doesn't get messy on it. So once he does that, Dante, I want you to not apply it now because your glue is different from the one that we are using. And you may not need to let it dry at all because once your glue dries, you can't stick anything to it because it would be non-sticky. But the one that we are using works different. This one gets sticky once it dries. Does that make sense to you, Dante?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Our next step is going to be to paint, guys. So once you've done with the adhesive, it's time for all of us to pull out our white paint. So let's start with the lightest color, and that is going to be our white. And the white goes in the angel's dress as well as in her wings. Now please remember, wherever you apply the glue, do not apply your paint there. You want to stay away from those areas. So let's have a look at Here we go. Take out your white paint, guys. That's your first color that you're going to need. And I'm going to show you what you're going to do with that as we work. So I have white in my palette. I have my brush ready to go. And I'm going to start with the wings first because they're high up there. And then as I come down, I don't need to touch anything that's too wet. You're welcome to turn your board so you can work with it. So you don't have to feel like it's hard to work. Take your paint and you're going to start from this area. One wing at a time. Take your time and just apply it in, please. You can use a touch of water with this to make it work a little bit better for you. If you think it feels a little bit thicker than what you like to work with, you can definitely apply a tiny bit of water, but not too much, please. Because remember, you're working on a wood panel. And wood doesn't take too kindly to water.
Miss Daisy?
Yep.
Whenever I paint the white, it covers up the lines that I drew with a pencil.
Fair enough. So this is what we're going to do to counteract it. I want you to put yourself a tiny bit of blue in the pocket right next to the white in your palette, like so. Do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Right here. Now the second step is take your brush, clean brush, and add just a little bit of extra water to it. You don't want this to be too thick. And stir it up like a little puddle. Okay, now that you have this, wherever you drew the line, after you paint white, you can put a little bit of blue on the inside of it, like so. And this will work so long as you can paint everything first, and then you can come back and do that little bit of shading on where you made the tips. So you don't have to feel like you have to do it side by side. If you feel that is too hard for you, just spread your paint out. So I'm going to take you through the process with a little bit more ease. I don't want you to feel like it's too hard for you. And we're going to spread this wing out. I put the tip of my brush on the tip of the wing, the feather itself, and I just pull back. This way I don't have to trace my lines because I have a round tip brush, and I know all of you do too as well. So put the tip of your brush on the very edge of that feather and pull back, and you will get a really nice line and a really nice edge. So just like this.
What are you doing to leave me alone? I'm going to eat my food. No. Go. Eat.
Go ahead and do your other wing. Remember, the place where you put that glue, you do not need to put any paint on it at all, because that's where you're going to stick your gold leaf.
You happy with your wings? Yeah. Not all the way. Why are you blue? Does she want you to put blue in there? Does she want you to put blue in there?
We're going to do that a little bit later.
Would you line? Okay, I just don't see her doing it. But that's because she hasn't done stuff with the alignment. And that's so the one.
Remember, we're going to paint the sky around our angel. So that time, if in case you get anything outside the line of your wing, it's not the end of the world, and we can go back and we can fix it. Number one. Number two, I'm done with my angel's wing spread. And what I'm going to do now is pick up the blue and work with it. So the way that I do it is I take the blue on my brush and I can apply it along the rim of the inside wing. I don't have to worry about trying to make it fit into each feather. I do 2 strokes. Look up at the camera. So I put the blue on the very edge right there, and I stroked it 2 times. Now that I've stroked it, I'm going to wipe off my paint and I'm going to push the blue just like this into each of the feathers. Just like this. Stroke, 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 stroke.
Miss Daisy?
Uh-huh.
We can put do we put the blue on the lines where we drew our pencil lines?
Correct. So, remember how we put it right? Remember this line that we made for the baby feathers? This one? I put the blue there on top of the white, and my white was still a little bit wet. So when it's wet, it helps me to be able to paint it a little bit better. That's all it is, Dante. So I'm putting it where I can then use it, pull it with my brush, and I can spread it into the feathers. So now this is a technique. Here's the thing. I'm giving you what I feel you can do. And if you find that it feels a little difficult, you can simplify by making it a little bit without up and downs. So over here, you see me put the second layer of blue on the outside feathers. I'm putting it right here. And this way, you can see there are 2 layers of the feathers. Now, if you feel that's hard for you, you don't have to do 2 layers. Now, you can get away with just doing 1 layer. So please keep yourself comfortable and just work with me. When you add a touch of blue this way that I'm doing right now, it helps people to realize where the inside edge of something is. Why the inside edge will generally be darker in color comparatively to most of the things. So it shows us where that edge is, and it shows us how many layers we're working in. After I finish this section, I plan to go to work on her dress because her dress is also white. So that's my next go-to. So as you guys start putting this color down, we will finish all the areas in white that we need to finish. But I do have to tell you, just to keep the timeline good, I can only give you like another 4 minutes on that, please, so that you can keep up with the whole entire project a little comfortably. I don't want you to feel like I missed out on that part. I should have done that part. I don't want you to feel that way, so just fair warning. 4 minutes for working on her dress. This is my angel's wings at this point. Now I'm going to dress. Remember, the front of her sleeves is where the gold is going to go, so you do not want to put anything there. After we do her dress, we'll be mixing the color for her skin. So that will be our next go-to. Now, I need eyes up. Let me show you the 2-3 places where you need to add blue to her dress. So take your blue, and I need you to add it from the inside edge over here. Look at me. And I need you to push it up gently. Nice and easy. And soon enough, it will turn white, which is perfect. Like this. So that's one place. This way you can see which one is the front and what's back. Second place you want to put the blue is inside the lip of her left arm right here. Put the line of blue, clean your brush, and just stroke, stroke, stroke. The best way to blend a color to make it look like it's just naturally in that pocket is, the key is mixing. And you have to make sure that your brush moves in the small little pocket that you have, and it needs to move there. And the last place is this little nook in here. Remember this guy down here? Now this guy needs to be a little bit more darker in blue because it's such a tiny little turn that you cannot have it being too bright. And those are all the places for us to do our white and our blue. And I'm going to wait on all of you now. I'm adding one more coat because when I look at my picture, I can see the bottom panel through the paint. I don't want to see the bottom panel of wood through the paint. I want it to be a solid color, so I'm going to add just a bit more of the paint value so that I can get a really good solid white look for her dress. Now, one more place for our white to go is going to be actually here. Let me show you. the back of the halo, right over here. I'm going to put white, and then I'm getting me some yellow to turn it into soft cream. So it's a very tiny little place. You'll notice that you need to just be careful how you do it. When I use my mixing palette, I don't always put my color into the little pockets. Sometimes I put them over here. And I do that so that I can grab a little bit of the white and I can just blend right here, because I don't need a lot mainly. And I can just apply it in here. Right there. It's such a tiny little area that that's what you need. Now,
Miss Daisy?
yeah, Dante?
We're, we're still at the part. Now we need to, so do we paint, like, the cracks? I don't really get it.
Okay, tell me what part you don't get. I'm listening. Show it to me.
Yeah, where do we paint the blue?
So look at me, look at the camera, Dante. Do you remember her right arm? This part. So you will put the blue down here at the bottom and not at the top, and then you'll push the blue up so that it starts to go lighter. Got it?
This one?
Yeah, this one. That one that you're pointing at.
We need to mix like that.
There you go. Perfect. Now clean your brush. Dante, stop. Stop, Dante. Clean the brush, get the paint off of it, and then go back and keep pushing it. Because then you'll be able to make it lighter as you go up. Just stroke it up. There you go, Dante. There you go. Well done. Okay, guys, I need to get you guys to work on your skin colors next. You ready? Maddie, you good? Okay, Ariba? Nathan? Okay, Swara? Okay. Got it. Thank you. Sweta, we have to move, sweetie, because otherwise you'll run out of time. Come. Ready? Okay, look up. Look up. The recipe for skin color. Here you go. You take a big chunk of white, put it into a pocket. Look at me. Take a dot of yellow, and a dot of red. And you're going to mix it together. This gives you skin color. Do you see what I got? I need you to make yourself a skin color. And we're going to paint her face and her hands and her neck with it. Go ahead and start, please. So you put in the skin color, and then at this point, you have to decide what color her hair is. Do you want it to be yellow? Would you like it to be red? You know, there are angels in animation that they give them blue hair color. So it depends on what you want her hair color to be. So I'm going to go for a soft cream color. I'm going to mix a little bit of my white with my yellow up over here. And I'm going to put in the color for her hair. And what I think I'll do is I'll touch a tiny bit of my red to it. And I'm going to add a little bit of color to her hair. Again, hair color is personal. Please put in the color that you would like your angel to have. It can be black. If you would prefer to have black hair, you can definitely do black hair. Just as we're clear about these things, you have to just pick a color and just paint in her hair. Now, it has been 30 minutes since we did everything, so we can apply the gold at this point. And I'm going to wait for all of you all to give me a thumbs up on that one that you're ready for it.
Riley?
Miss Daisy, do we paint the face now?
Yes, please. Go ahead and do that right now. So, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of homework because you may not have enough time to paint the entire sky. So what we did with the other picture was I painted my blue all around my angel. So you have a cup of blue and you can do that. But I would like to take you to the gold leaf now because it's time for us to stick that gold leaf down. And so that is why I need to put you over there. And then we can do the sky after that if you like. We can still do that. So we're going to go over by about 5 minutes.
Miss Daisy?
Yep.
So do I apply the stuff that I made now?
No, Dante's dad, are you there?
Mom's here.
Okay, so because he's working with Elmer's glue, don't have him work with me in my timeline. Let this paint really dry. Otherwise, it's going to conflict. If it pours over anywhere, he might end up with a big mess. So just do that. And what you really want to take care on is applying it at precisely to the area. Okay?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. So look at me, everyone. Eyes on the camera. So this is what a gold leaf looks like. This is what you're going to pull out. Please look up. I don't want you to do this with me. Look at me first. Okay? What you're going to do is, this area got glue. Let me expand it so you can see what happens. The step in this is, you take your gold leaf, the things that you're going to need. Let me tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need a dry brush. Just any dry brush. Keep it nearby. And when you are ready, take your gold leaf to the place where you want to apply it. Let it sit there and gently rub it with your tip of your finger. Just like this. Okay, once you apply it, you can gently rip away the excess. Put it back. All these extra pieces of gold, they're not bad. Just take it away. Then what you're going to do with your dry brush is you're going to first make sure that you really press down and then use it to kind of help take off the extra, like so. So you kind of sweep around it, and this helps you to kind of pull it off from where it's not supposed to be put, like this. And if it sticks a little bit on your wings or something like that and you like it, you can leave it. There's nothing wrong in it. There's no rule that says you cannot do that. Like so. So you can clean it up really nicely. And if you get small edges, do you see how there's a little place right here? I can take some of these small pieces and I can put them on here and I can just press it down nicely and it will stick. I do that for any place where the foil did not stick nicely, and I can get it to really clean up. Here you go. So like this. This is how you apply gold leaf to your work. It's always done after you finish painting, but because our classes are sort of like an hour long, and I wanted to do this festive kind of a thing for with all of you on one of the lessons, is given that it's holiday season. So that's what. Now I'll take another piece of gold leaf. You can also start now. You don't have to keep watching. And you can apply it here. Remember, at this point, I've got my flute, I've got the halo. Maybe I can put a little bit on the halo right there, right here, and then I can put this on for the main body, right there. Your fingers should be dry when you do this. You don't want to do this with any finger that has something on it already, like maybe water or something sticky like glue, because that's going to rip it. So now I'm going to brush around it. And it is going to take away whatever I don't want it to have. So what you'll notice when you do this is where if you took the care to put your put the glue exactly where you wanted it, you should end up with really clean lines. Hey Sachin, I'm trying to wrap up this project here. Could you tell Kavash to send like an invite for or create a window for my other students, please? Something. The graphite class.
He needs to send the invite out?
He can't send it out, but he can create me a window that I can just kind of go and access. I'll be a little bit behind in my time to take care of this. Now, to make the to show the difference between the her flute and where her mouth is and everything, I would have wanted to do a little bit more shading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this project off. I'm going to record it and I'm going to send it to you guys so that you can see how to add a little bit more detail on the painting part of the whole process, because you're going to need it. And it's not possible to do it right now while this thing is so wet, but I would like to kind of send it out to all of you. So that's what my plan is. You can expect to see it over the weekend is what I would tell you for that one. Remember, if your gold gets to a place where you didn't want it, the easiest remedy is that you can also paint over it. Because my paint is a little bit wet and it's letting some of the gold stick to it. So if you like, wait for your paint to dry completely before you get to doing all this stuff.
Paint over your face and what should we...
So this is what I've got. If you like the gold where it's sticking, leave it. Don't need to try to fix it at all. But if you want anything changed, you can paint over this stuff. You can apply some fresh adhesive and run the gold one more time. So there's a few different options on what you can or can't do.